Hi, darlings. Hello. I'm still adjusting my camera angle. I just got out of the shower because I've been working in the yard all the live long day. I need my sweater. Hang on a second. I have to move you to get my sweater. I tell you, since I got out of the shower, it's almost like I caught a little bit of a chill out here in the night air, and I don't want to catch cold. Not this close to summer vacation, you know. But sorry about that, friends. I was a little bit chilly in the night air because my hair's still wet. Hello. Hello. Well, I guess yesterday wasn't enough coverage on the subject, so we're going to talk about it again today. How in the world are you on this fine and fabulous Tuesday? I think I figured out the common denominator to our problem. Been a bunch of eggs recalled from California, making people sick. 80 sick, 20 hospitalized so far. Little plane crash off the coast of California today. 6 people perished. ICE raids, protests, civil unrest, 1993 era riots. California. Hurricane Barbara's being mean as shit, and she might just head that way too. So I'm like, I think the problem's California. I think we need to go in there and straighten some stuff out, because it seems like we're way past the point of no return. I saw today they interviewed some woman, and she said that she was in this protest and she was loaded down with pepper spray and wearing Kevlar, and she was bigger than me. And I'm like, how'd you find a Kevlar vest to fit 500 pounds? But anyway, she was muy gordo. And I thought, what's she saying? She said, California belongs to the Mexicans. It's always been Mexicans. And I was like, you might want to ask Cherokee how that worked out for them. Might want to ask any indigenous tribe how that worked out for them. Might want to ask all the Irish settlers that got sent over here during the Jacobean Revolution how that worked out for them. Might want to ask the Hatfields and McCoys how that worked out for them. Oh, Lord, we're going to have to send them right across the Gulf of America to wherever they came from. We even took that from you, so, don't ask for no favors. I am a little worried that there's just as many Marines in California, because I don't know if Crayola has enough supply on the shelves to suffice. I'm worried that the Marines are going to be out of snack foods. That's a joke, because one of my best buddies is a Marine, and I like to give him a hard time. What does bother me, though, is that they have sent 2-7 from 29 Palms. Good God. Good God. Y'all ever seen that show Fallout? They can clean house quicker than Merry Maids. I've seen them do it. So, anyway, apparently there's some big to-do going on in Washington on Saturday for Flag Day, which is awesome. Big old parade. I think that everybody on the other side's planning a big old revolt or whatever they're doing, kickball game or cry in a corner timeout or whatever the hell that they do, because I don't know. I'm not one of them. I'm busy working for a living. But I'm just going to tell you, just, keep your head on a swivel this weekend, because people are acting foolish for no good reason other than they want to virtue signal and be seen on the news. It's the same dumbasses that go out there during hurricanes in swimsuits and flip-flops and go, well, I've been through 15 of them. Well, don't mean you're going to live through this one. So, hunker down. Don't be stupid. Don't add to or take from the population. Just stop. Just full stop. Just be yourself this weekend and chill out. Smoke you a joint. Drink you an L8. Play with your chickens. Mind your business. You could tell I'm really listen. Isn't that great? Peace. That's the goal. What you hear right now? That's the goal. That's the goal. Calm down. Goose for a ball. Stop it. I did have a fan reach out to me today and ask me if I wanted to run for office, because if I did, he'd put some money in my super PAC. And I said, well, hell, I don't even know if I could run for state line and get any votes. I can't even get nobody to listen to my shit on the radio, and it's been out for 3 months. So, but I don't know what the Lord's going to call me to do. I might be on a pulpit. I might be behind a platform. I might be on a podium. You don't know. I'm drinking sweet tea right now because my L8's not cold enough in the fridge. I forgot to put a 6-pack in there this afternoon when I got down in the garden. I can hardly drink a hot L8. I don't even like thinking about it. Ew. So, the manhunt for Travis Decker has turned into a federal investigation now, and they've got everybody looking for him, and I think it's only a matter of time before they put a bounty on that son of a bitch and all the rednecks get their hunting guns out and go in the woods. Any man who would kill his 3 children, tie them up, suffocate them, and throw them off a cliff, we should string up in the town square and take him apart piece by piece with a pair of pliers and a rusty nail. I said what I said. People like that don't deserve 3 hots and a cot. People like that don't deserve my tax dollars to go and learn higher education in a federal penitentiary. The people like that deserve to be hung and shot on national television. I said what I said. If you're that mean to your own babies, if you're that mean of a human spirit, if you're that evil of a person, we should do just like the pirates and string you up from the highest tree and let you be an example for everybody else who's got a dark thought in their heart. People have not suffered the consequences for their actions in a long time, and it's starting to show. A lot of people haven't had the taste knocked out of their mouth for saying the wrong thing at the wrong time in front of the wrong people in a long time, and it's starting to show. We're suffering the consequences of a timeout generation instead of a fuck around and find out generation. I have been hit with every assault weapon you could possibly think of. An assault yardstick, an assault wooden spoon, an assault hairbrush, assault flip-flop. And that's at a high rate of speed from the front seat to the back seat. Do not make me pull this car over. Assault ain't a weapon. Assault is an adjective. And you can make anything a weapon if you're pissed off enough. It's like my brother said, an apple a day will keep the doctor away. If you throw it hard enough, it'll keep anybody away. So, walk soft, carry big stick and all that shit. But, what are y'all doing tonight? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Wonder what y'all's up to tonight. Oh, and other happy news in the garden, I think that Dumbledore, the new Phoenix Rooster, is finally getting along with Napoleon, the little tiny baby, because they were having it out for a couple of days. And then Butterball teamed up with Napoleon, the little tiny baby rooster, and Butterball's the big turkey. And he holds down the tail of my big Phoenix and picks him in the head. And I have to go out there and separate him like it's a schoolhouse scuffle. I tell you what, I've got 62 chickens and 4 turkeys, 2 dogs and a husband with 1 arm right now. Yeah. Oh, and my single's coming out in 10 days. In case anybody gives a shit, it's linked right there. You can look at it on my links. There it is. Pre-save it. Hellur, Sherry crocheting. Listen, I can't crochet worth the shit. I've tried. I can do a granny square blanket for a while, and then it starts to get real psychedelic. And anytime I try to make a scarf, it ends up just looking like the state of Tennessee because I forget to count. It's not for me. Can't do it. Can't do it. You want to talk about some mental shit? Your parents taking you outside and telling you to pick your own switch, and you're standing out there going, well, this is just a game at this point. You're like, if I pick that one, they're going to send me back. If I pick that one, it's going to break my spine. And the worst was always them fishing rod little, forsythia branches. Ooh, they would just snap off the back of your thighs. You could just feel that. Ooh, I can feel it right now on the back of my legs like I sat down in a waffle chair on the porch. Oh, God, it hurts. That's why we don't act like that. That's why we aren't in LA right now burning shit to the ground like UK just won the national championship. Because we was raised better. Maybe instead of handing your kids iPads 20 years ago and putting them in front of a television and putting them in front of a computer and not raising them yourself, you should have been having them in church and in school and having them at dinner every night, sitting at the table as a family at 6 p.m. and talking about their day. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in, because I feel it's all a big generational gap to where you just decided to stop parenting and become their friends. My mother and I were not friends until I was way up in my 20s. Oh, God, I hated her. Didn't hate her. I loved my mother with all my heart, but I went through the typical teenage bullshit. I moved out and moved in with my granny and papa next door. It's like, I can't deal with y'all. And then I learned the error of my ways because I was raised in the 90s, Dad wouldn't take your internet. Dad would send you to bed with no supper. Dad would beat your back door red until you couldn't sit down for 2 days because you weren't going to talk like that. I'm not saying corporal punishment and all that shit and child abuse. No, there's a fine line between discipline and just being a demon. So, be careful. I learned from Mr. Rogers too, and not once in my entire life did he say, okay, everybody, let's check our email and see how many followers we have today. The only riot in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is when Mr. McFeely and that breakdancer showed up at the same time. We had to get out 2 pieces of cardboard so they could teach us that real cool move that Fred Rogers did with a bad hip and a cardigan on. God rest Fred Rogers. He learned how to break dance, taught us how to make trumpets, fed them fish, and told us we were special no matter what we looked like. Why haven't we got more people like him? Weeping willow tree is the worst. They do wrap around. Oh, my God. Or if you accidentally grab a briar instead of forsythia, and then you've got, like, cat o' nines on the back of your leg. I'm telling you. I'm drinking sweet tea in my sea glass. See, it's got a big C on it for my last name now because my name's Sarah Beth Terry Courtney. My L8 wasn't cold enough. So, yeah. Speaking of babysitting, y'all remember that movie, Adventures in Babysitting? Do you remember that? Do you remember that movie with Elizabeth Shue and what's his name that's on, is it SVU now? Or, I don't know. I can't remember. He was on Men in Black. I remember that. But anyway, do you remember that movie when they was in Chicago and the parents had to go away and go to some company function, and Elizabeth Shue was expecting to go on a date and she couldn't because she had to babysit, and her boyfriend said he had a cold and he didn't, and then she had to babysit them kids, and then her friend Brenda got lost at the bus station and she lost her glasses and they had to go get her in the city in the station wagon, and then they lost that tire and they had to sing that blues club and they got shot at by that trucker, and then everybody got home just in time for the evening news to come on, and she even had time to wipe down the counter and throw the Doritos in the trash before everybody got home. Remember that movie, or is that just me? You think about that movie in today's day and time. One, all them kids would have had a cell phone that had a dinger on it or a Life 360. Two, that woman, Elizabeth Shue, would have been arrested, number one, for taking them kids in an underage bar where they served alcoholic beverages and not a one of them over 21, and child endangerment, and reckless driving, and driving without her purse or her... I'm telling you. I've been thinking about a lot of these movies that we grew up on and how they probably wouldn't be allowed on Amazon Prime these days because it's too graphic. You know, yesterday we talked about Pee Wee Herman and how y'all just defamed him for enjoying an adult movie in an adult movie house by himself in his own time, away from whatever the hell else he was doing with his professional life. And yet that's the same shit that you normalize and justify on your network news and play for prime time for your children, and then wonder why we have riots in the streets of Los Angeles and everybody's burning shit to the ground. Seems like those two things would be related. Huh. Somebody should look into that. Anyway. But just some things I was thinking about, you know. In the meantime, I did put my porch swing together to go out there in the Copacabana. I got Tabasco peppers coming up. I planted 3 rose bushes and a azalea bush. Couldn't think of the name. And them damn squirrels has eat every damn blueberry I had on my bush out there. So I guess I'm going to have to go up there with 22 and start getting rid of some squirrels. Probably won't do that. I probably just use a BB gun to scare them off, because you know I do love all of God's creatures, but if they don't come here and they don't pay to get in and they don't come here the right way and they want to sneak in the back door and eat all my feed, I have to send them back to wherever they come from, you know. You have to pay to play in this house. But anyway, so we're answering all of your questions tonight, comments, concerns, requests, or general disgruntledness. If you've been boondoggled, bamboozled, and straight screwed in the butt this week because of everything going on, just join in and grab a cigarette. We'll smoke through it together. If you've never seen me before, my name is Sarah Beth Terry, or Sarah Beth Terry Courtney. It depends on who asks and if the government's involved or if it's just on the headline. But I'm a professional singer, songwriter, comedian, and a chicken lady, I guess. I guess you're a professional once you have this many chickens. So, that's what I do. And I sit on the porch and we talk about things. You never know. So, anyway. I was saying hello to everybody. I'm seeing what our comments are. Sorry, I haven't been keeping up. Oh, God. The weeping willow branches. Oh, God. Anyway, thank you for saying you like my hair, Robin. Appreciate that. My mom said it was too dark, but I was trying to get rid of these grays because if one more person on Instagram asked me if Sean was my son, I was going to come through the screen on them. I really was. So in case you're keeping up, this Saturday, the June the 14th at 8 p.m. at Barrel 53 in Lexington, Kentucky. It's our last show in Lexington for the rest of the summer, so make sure you come by and see us. We'll be there. I'll be dressed up, sitting up front. Sean will probably be on the cajon if his arm feels up to it. Otherwise, he'll be out in the audience and you can wave at him. You'll wave with the other arm. I made summer spaghetti tonight that's got squash and zucchini and red peppers and green peppers and yellow peppers and orange peppers and garlic and basil and rosemary and crushed red pepper and broccoli and onion and what else is in that thing? Mushrooms. Everything that's in my garden. And some farfalle pasta with a little bit of chicken broth and some boiled chicken I made yesterday. Mixed up in a big casserole dish and throw it in the oven with some cheese on top of it. And you can eat it hot or cold, and that'll be refreshing on a summer day, so you're welcome for that. It's my summer spaghetti. I make it every year because we can eat on it for like 3 days. So, I'm trying to learn recipes that incorporate the things that I'm growing in my garden. That way that I won't be like overrun with tomatoes and peppers and... Oh, I put tomatoes in it too. The little tiny ones, and little lunchbox tomatoes. They're so cute. They're not really cherry tomatoes, and they're not really grape tomatoes. They're kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, this is me without hair and makeup. So this is what my hair looks like when I get out of the shower. It's just dark brown and mousy. But I've been trying to work on my tan so I don't have to wear as much foundation on stage this year because I get so hot, especially in the summertime, and I'm so fat. And plus, I'm going through menopause, so I'm just like a male, and it all just ends up like right here, and then I look like I've been in a football game, or perhaps I'm part of a 1960s comedy troupe. Just got big dark circles under my eyes like I haven't slept in 4 or 5 days because my mascara runs when I get hot, and I'm too lazy to buy the waterproof shit when I go to the store. Yeah. Whatever. So, I was just carrying on about what's going on today. I've watched everybody's updates, and I'm like, so it's the same shit, different day. Now there's a parking garage on fire in Nashville. Nobody knows why, but nobody's talking about it. And all my friends in Nashville didn't mention it, but yet it's on the TV, and I don't know what to believe. And then that Greta Thunberg, she got kidnapped trying to get to Gaza to give them handy wipes or whatever, and I don't understand. So, you know, I don't keep up with it. Honestly, if it don't directly concern me or my chickens or my husband or my dogs, I just generally don't pay that much attention to it because I got too much to worry about everybody else, you know. Like, I do appreciate the situation, and I'm trying not to escalate or add to it or have too much of an opinion on it. But at the same time, when I was in Italy, I had a 29-day visa the first time I went. 29 days. Got there on January the 3rd, and I had to leave like February the 1st. Or January 30th. Anyway, it said it on my thing. And I'll have you know, the night before I was supposed to get on a plane to come back to America, the Carabinieri themselves, which is the big cops, came to my apartment and said, let's see your papers. And I said, okay. They said, we'll be here at 6 o'clock in the morning to give you an escort back to the airport. We thank you so much for visiting Italy, and we hope that you come back sometime, but your visa has expired. Okay. Had a big time. Can I take some of this cheese with me? They're like, sure, have fun. And there was no harm, no foul, no couch burnings, no riots in the streets, no everybody acting a fool. I'm just saying. If I just walked into your work and started flipping burgers, I think that they would ask me to leave because I don't belong there. If you went into my show and didn't have a ticket, they would ask you to pay. It's the same principle. I don't understand why we don't have the same policy of security for our national borders that we do for minimum wage jobs and bar gigs. I was an artist at CMA on the artist stage, and the little damn door boy checked my ID 7 different times when I went out to smoke. I'm like, it's still me. Still Sarah Beth Terry. I've given you every CD I got and my ID. And he said, I still have to check it. And I'm like, only if you could work at the border. What a wasted opportunity to put you here at the door of a bar on Broadway where nobody gives a damn. I'm telling you, I should run for office. I just don't know which office I want, and I don't really like an office unless it was on a porch. So can I run for porch? Can I just sit on a porch with a crown on and be like, this is what I think that you should do? And I make a reasonable salary with dental and vision. You know, it's the little things. I was telling Sean that the other day. I was like, I really don't care if we ever get super rich. I just want to be comfortable and be able to stare off in the distance while I fill up the diesel at the gas pump. I just be like, yeah. You know, people who are making minimum wage aren't making it. They're not. They're not. I have seen more ads for welfare, EBT, SNAP benefits, disability on my TikTok and my Facebook than I ever have. And I'm like, Are we all just crazy and we can draw a check now? Like, what's going on? Because I tell you what, if they're just handing out money, I can sure throw a fit and get some. But I just think it's weird that everybody's hiring, but nobody's hiring. But there's money, but there's no money. And the economy's getting better, but it's worse. And we've got law and order finally in some parts of the country. In some parts of the country, we've got some crazy shit going on. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on right now. I feel like everything is topsy-turvy, and I don't know how to set it right. Like, maybe if everybody in Florida could jump up and down at the same time that everybody in Alaska could jump up and down, then we could do, like, a hard reset on the country. So, I don't know. Poor Carrie, she says, hell, I work for the post office, and I Instacart on the side. I raise chickens, I sell eggs, I sell produce, I make jackets, I make hats, I make feathered jewelry, I write custom songs, I do professional comedy, I do speaking engagements. I've been called to preach a couple times. I've been a song director at a church. I've been a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, and a florist. I'm doing everything I can to put food in everybody's belly, and it's really, really hard when you call a bar that says, hey, we need entertainment Saturday night. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it for you for, you know, my normal fee is $1,500. Hey, it's Saturday night. I'll cut you a deal, $750. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, you know, what can you spend? I'll help you out. I might be only able to do an hour and a half or 2 hours, but I'll help you out, you know, because you're close and you need it. He said, well, I was thinking more like a 4-piece band for $100. And I was like, a piece? He's like, no. I was like, that's not enough. That's not even enough to turn the engine over and head towards your bar. I don't understand. You've got 200 people in here eating and drinking. I know what bar sales look like. I used to run a bar. I used to be the manager of a great big bar. And I'm like, if you're an actual bar and grill, you have an entertainment and marketing and advertising budget set into your budget, or else you don't have a business plan worth of shit. So I know that there's money there that is set aside for entertainment purposes, because everybody knows if you've got good entertainment, they'll stick around longer and they'll drink more and they'll eat more and they'll spend more. Therefore, everybody wins. But if all you want is a human jukebox who's going to play Wagon Wheel and Feathered Indians all night, then hell, buy you one of them touch tunes. Because I ain't got time for that. I don't know anybody that does. I don't know anybody that's serious about their business. And I get it. Everybody's just, you know, I pity the people that work 9 to 5s and try to do music, because music is your hobby at that point. You know, you don't have time to focus on it all the time. I focus on it all the time, and I barely have time to do it. Like, this has been my full-time job since I was 18 years old. So, you know, I'm looking at it going, I've clocked in several places. I've always had side hustles. When I get bored and need to write a new song, or I'm out of information, or I need a new story to tell, I'll get a day job, and I'll, you know, be among the people for a while, because I usually say to myself, I'm an extrovert. I love to be outside. I love to talk to people. Anytime I'm out in public, I'll visit. I'll catch up. I'll find out how we're kin. I'll find out where you're from, if I know anybody there. But when I'm at home, I'm at home. I don't answer the phone. I don't answer the door. I really don't answer the email unless it bings through 3 times. I'm like, oh, I guess I better check that. That's what Sean's for. Sean is a very meticulous, left-brained person that checks everything twice. I am a fly by the seat of my pants. We'll get there when we get there. We'll figure it out as we go. I have to create. I'm a creative. Sean's a creative too, but he's way more organized because of his military experience. I'm not. I am wild as a buck. Like, I've been working on this carport for 3 days, building a porch swing, feeding new chickens, figuring out a new feeding system to incorporate my scratch grains, corn, and straight feed until the chickens start laying eggs. I've also been planting discount plants that I've propagated from every greenhouse in the world, including Tractor Supply's dollar discount days. And then I've made chicken pasta, reorganized the kitchen. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's, I have so much going on all the time. And in the meantime, I'm writing new comedy, writing a new show, writing new songs, getting new studio dates set up, promoting the new single that comes out June the 20th, checking on the one that came out in March. It's constant. It's constant. I go to bed about 2 o'clock every night. I get up about 6 o'clock every morning, every single day. And I work myself sick. For what? For what? For what? For a bar owner to be like, well, you're not worth it. You're not worth it because you're not a quote-unquote real job, as opposed to the dishwasher that I'm paying $17 an hour in the back. Please stop treating music like it's fluff. Please stop treating it like it's the game on the big TV, because you know good and well that if there was a Tyson fight that was $1,700 on pay-per-view, your ass would be paying for it because it would bring people to the bar. Hello? Hello? I always get some kind of cockamamie excuse about we don't like country, or we don't like women, or we don't like women in country, or we don't like that kind of music, or we don't like your style, or we'd rather have this, we need top 40, we need country rock. Those are the same assholes who are against marijuana because they've never smoked it. They've just seen it on a Reagan commercial in the 80s just saying, no, everything's shit, this is your brain on drugs, and that's how you live because you still got to stick up your ass and think that everybody that on marijuana is still protesting them and trying to dodge the draft. Same thing. Same thing. You're just their children. You refuse to see anything but the small picture in front of you, and you don't see that around you art is happening, life is happening, music is happening. The world is moving on without you. But if you want to be stuck in your bar serving 25-cent wings on Tuesday night while everybody drinks beer and then listens to Wagon Wheel, be my guest. But I will not contribute my art to that fabric of... I'm sorry, I won't. I work too hard at what I do. I work way too hard at how I write. I work way too hard at building friendships and maintaining my connections and talking to you all every day and making sure that I put in the time and the effort to do exactly what God put me on this earth to do, for me to cheapen myself to be a human jukebox. Sorry. So... now it's more about how much you can drink and if you can throw a chair off of somebody's bar in Nashville. Which, by the way, they had their own chair drink at Chiefs this week. Well played, but I do believe because of my video the day that happened, y'all owe me some royalties on that because Lord knows you ain't paying them on the songs that I write. But I digress. Anyway, I'm just over all of it. And today, I think hell froze officially over. It said it would be a cold day in June when I agreed with Whoopi Goldberg, and sure as hell did today. She commented on the Elon and Trump little scandal, and she was like, I think it's fake news. I was like, that's the first thing you've said that makes sense in 30 years. Bravo. It's the first time I've seen her on television since she had that cameo on Little Rascals. You remember Reba was also in that one too. Bunch of big stars. Anyway, but I think that my main focus is stop letting yourself get distracted. Stop it. Just turn your TV off. Put your phone down. You can't be bothered by something that you don't know about. It's kind of like the scarlet hair rule. You know, you just ignore it long enough, it'll go away. But I happen to believe that the more you contribute to hate, the more it spreads, and the more negativity spreads, and it's faster than wildfire, and then it shows up in everything and everybody and everyone. So, stop. Just stop now. Just get ahead of it and be like, no, I choose not to participate in this. This is insanity, and it's ridiculous, and I don't want to be a part of it. It's like my daddy always said, everybody's welcome at the table, but you better bring something to the table, you know? But I think everybody's kind of feeling the burden on their shoulders of picking up the slack for everything else that's gone wrong for the past 20 years. We're just kind of tired of it. When's it our turn? When's it the Gilded Age? When can we live high on the hog and high on the weed and nobody get pissed off about either one? Just a question. Inquiring minds want to know. I got to figure out where to hang up all this shit that I brought back from the farm. I got all kinds of signs, stars, baskets, shit. Thank you. Thank you for watching me. I appreciate it. I may not always be the most well-informed person in the world, but what I do say is truth, whether you agree with the messenger or not. Lying is too much to keep up with. If you tell the truth, you ain't got nothing to keep up with. And if you ain't nothing to hide, you got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? So, my life's up on Facebook. I'm married to the love of my life. Our love story has been very public since the moment we met. I incorporated him right into the fabric of it as to avoid scandal and confrontation in the future. We get along swimmingly. I've had the best relationship ever with this man, and I'm so glad I get to spend the rest of my life with him. If you want to see us in action, holler. We got some dates opening up, especially now that I'm not going to Sturgis. I'm so sorry about that, but I refused to drive 3,000 miles on the promise of a lick and $100. I was like, that's how much I was getting paid? That won't get me to Ashland, let alone to Sturgis. So, you know, another one of those instances where a man with a little bit of power thinks that he knows a lot and wants to tell me exactly what my place is in the entertainment business. Well, shut up. Sit down. Nobody gives a damn. So, That's exactly true, Emily. Judge Judy always said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. And she tells it to Sarah Rose all the time, and Sarah goes, I know. That's why I tell the truth. I love that little Sarah Rose. We wrote our own words to the Judy Justice, because you know every time it comes, it goes, dum, bum, 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 bum. So every time it comes on me and Sean, I'm like, Judy Justice, she is going to get ya. Can I get a witness? Here comes Kevin Brasco, Judy Justice. I was working on a new parody the other day to Country Roads. I was like, road construction, West Virginia. Part of this road is falling in the river. Orange barrels, far as I can see. Did they pave this road today? It looks the same to me, Country Roads. West Virginia's been under construction since 1864. One day they'll get it done. I just hope I'm alive to tell you about it. In the meantime, they keep making more and more concrete lanes, and I feel like I'm going into the Indy 500, and I just want to start pacing cars, and I can't. Because I got a cop every 15 minutes that goes, don't be going that fast. I'm like, can't. 75,000 people in front of me, and y'all got concrete barriers. And now Estill County, God love it, my little hometown. The bridge at Drowning Creek is out. The bridge on Levee Road is out. The Green Bridge across the river's out. If you're in Irvin, you just can't get out unless you go to the bypass, then come around the backside of Waco. I'm telling you, it's like they're boxing y'all in. Mom's like, you going to come by this weekend? I'm like, how? How are we going to get there? Might have to have a horse and a boat and a crane. Probably a 2-day trip by mule. 4-day by hot air balloon. You know. That's absolutely true. West Virginia is under construction. If you come, prepare to take longer to get there. Thank you so much for saying that, Amelia, because I was dead inside for about 4 years, and I think everybody could tell it by what kind of music I was writing and the way that my hair looked. Oh, Sarah, you made some questionable choices during COVID. What's really funny is that me and my ex-husband made it all the way through COVID. We came out of it, and I was like, I don't want to be married anymore. So, I wasn't. So I'm now married to somebody else, and I like him better. Thank God. Otherwise, that'd be a waste of time. But in the meantime, I need to build a grape arbor because I bought 3 grapevines yesterday, and I don't know anything about grapes. But I don't know anything about roses either, and I got 12 of them. So, you know, we'll figure it out together. It's probably fine. Oh, is the Green Bridge open again? Okay, well, thank God, because it was shut down for like 6 hours today, and I thought everybody was going to swim across like it was the end of time. What are we going to do? We can't get to the Shell Bar. We can't get to the Twin. It's like, wait it out. It'll be fine. Chill out. If you're that desperate, go up Brushy, come around McKee, come in the back way through 492. I mean, good Lord. It's not like we ain't been around cricket time or two to avoid the law. Act like you got some racing. Act like you've been off Sand Hill. Shit. Almost out of tea, which means I think our time is coming to a close, friends, because I need to get inside and make some dessert. Get a fairy in Irvin. I knew a few fairies in Irvin. That was terrible, Sarah. One of them would just be my decorating fairy and just show up whenever I had a birthday party. I loved him. Anyway, I would love to see you in person. If you're not busy on Saturday night, come out and see us. And if you are busy, then I better have a good excuse and a note from your doctor. You can email me at sarahbethterrybooking@gmail.com. But otherwise, come see us. I'm more fun in person, and I've lost 17 pounds since the 10th day of May, so you got to see it in person. Because all you see is from here up. You don't know how good my legs look. My ass is not quite as big as it used to be. I'm telling you, half the woman I used to be. Well, friends, it's time for me to get on down the road and do something else because it's 9:30. I want to go in there and cuddle with my husband, watch a movie. We're watching Castle Impossible, this new series on Amazon about this woman who inherits a 500-year-old chateau, and her husband are trying to figure out how to renovate it without going broke. And it's the funniest entertainment. It's like watching me and Sean figure out the chicken coop, only with a lot more money and land. But it's still funny. So, watch it if you want to. That's just my personal recommendation of what we're watching this week. In the meantime, I'm reading 2 new books. I'm reading Polly's Island by Dorothea Benton Frank, who is my favorite author. Love her. She writes tales about the South Carolina Low Country, and I just love it. And I'm also reading an informational book called Could It Be Perimenopause? And I already know that it is. I just want to see what to do next. I like to read ahead. So, well, that's it, friends. I will talk to you soon. I love you, mean it. There's a damn thing that you can do about it. Keep your head on a swivel, your Bible open, and your powder dry. And as always, friends, I'm Sarah Beth Terry Courtney, and you're not. Bye.